Colleagues across the nations and regions for the news where you are. From the 10 o'clock team, it's good night.
Thanks, Rita. Good evening and welcome to the Late Look North. Tonight, investigations continue into what caused the latest fire on Marsden Moor. As more hot weather approaches this weekend, firefighters were called back for a third day to Marsden Moor. There have already been 6 fires on the moor this year. That's more than other years by this stage. Mountain rescue volunteers have warned people that they should leave nothing at all behind to cut the fire risk. Tom Ingle reports.
3 days on, still the fire service are at Marsden Moor.
This morning at 7:15 we were called out to some hotspots, so some smoke on the moors following the fire that happened on Monday. Several hotspots, smoking embers on the moor, and we've had 2 crews here this morning. You don't quite put it out straight away, so it's a very resource-intensive incident at Moorland Fires.
There have been half a dozen fires on the moor so far this year. This one appears to have damaged around 2 square kilometres, but what caused it is still being investigated. It's taken us about 20 minutes to walk here, and we must have climbed around 100 metres from the nearest road. That's the problem the fire service are having. They can only reach these areas using small 4x4 vehicles that have a limited amount of water on board. But they've got to get this fire out, because if it becomes deep-seated in the peat underneath, you could have a fire burning for months. Meanwhile, the lush vegetation that was here just this weekend is now crumbling to dust. The breeze is the enemy today, teasing life into the fire's destruction of habitat and wildlife. Despite campaigns, prominent notices and the threat of thousands of pounds of fines, 2023 has brought an unwelcome record.
It seems as though each year we seem to have an increasing number of fires on the moorland, which is an absolute shame, because this is a fantastic location to come out and relax in. And I'm sure there'll be lots of people that are coming out to the moors this weekend with the weather forecast being so good. But it might not be intentional carelessness. Simple things like putting your cigarette down and stubbing it out on, we've got a stone road by the side of us, and people think that's safe, and it's not. You know, people throwing a bottle away and thinking, well, that's not going to catch fire, but it will. Even leaving tin foil that can act as a magnifying glass, that can cause fires. So our tips would be always walk in and walk out and never leave anything.
The prospect of previous summer's Dante-esque landscapes looms large in the memory. This is a rugged but simultaneously fragile landscape. And it's a long way from being completely dry, but even so, the fire has extensively damaged somewhere we all share and enjoy. Tom Ingle, BBC Look North, Marsden Moor.
Family court transcripts in the case of a baby who was later murdered by his parents showed Derbyshire County Council was overruled on a plan to return him to his parents. 10-month-old Finlay Bowden died on Christmas Day in 2020 at home in Chesterfield. He had 130 injuries. The council had recommended a transition period of 4 months because of concerns about Shannon Marsden and Stephen Bowden's drug use and parenting. But the baby was handed back within 8 weeks because the Independent Children and Families Court Advisory Service said the couple had made sustained and positive changes. New research suggests 70% of Yorkshire and the Humber's rivers and lakes contain one or more toxic chemical combinations that damage wildlife. The Environment Agency found there were more than 3 toxic chemical combinations in the rivers Derwent, Ouse, Ayr and Wharfe. And a new generation of nurses, midwives and other healthcare students in Yorkshire are benefiting from improved facilities and advances in technology to help them prepare for the real world. A new high-tech mannequin is helping train midwives at the University of Bradford, while a new state-of-the-art simulation ward has just been launched at Sheffield Hallam University. Here's Jamie Coulson.
Is everything all right with my baby?
At the University of Bradford, student midwives can now simulate different childbirth scenarios using a realistic mannequin called Lucina. She's able to speak, breathe, her belly hardens with contractions, and in this case replicate a medical emergency. Augmented reality headsets also allow students to see what's going on inside the body while dealing with what's happening in the room.
If there's an emergency, they can see what is physically happening inside. So it's taking that applied knowledge that they've learned in the classroom, taking the experiences that they're having in practice and bringing it together.
When are the doctors coming?
They should be coming around soon.
At Sheffield Hallam University, a new state-of-the-art 12-bed simulation ward has just been opened, allowing students to build their skills and confidence. Third-year nursing, physiotherapy and occupational therapy students are among the first to use it.
There's different patients, different things are going on, and then there's other patients that you're not looking after that you have to keep an eye on as well. So I think it was realistic.
Simulated training plays a vital role in preparing healthcare students for the future, with improved technology and facilities helping to bridge the gap between the classroom and the real world. Jamie Coulson, BBC Look North.
Here's Paul with the weather.
Well, again, good evening. What a glorious day it's been with unbroken sunshine across many areas. I think there will be more cloud around tomorrow. That said, it will be dry and there will be some sunshine at times, and high pressure remains in charge through the rest of this week and probably much of next week too. So we continue to see cloud drifting in from the North Sea during the course of the night, and we'll see lowest temperatures around 9 Celsius, that's 48 Fahrenheit. So tomorrow then, variable, sometimes large amounts of cloud. There could be the odd light shower later, but most of us will be dry. And there'll be some sunshine coming through the clouds, perhaps especially more later in eastern parts of South Yorkshire and over towards the coast. But as I say, at times there will be quite a bit of cloud around. Despite that, it's still going to feel warm. 19 Celsius is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Further ahead then, Friday and the weekend, as I say, well into next week, it remains dry and warm with some sunshine. That's the forecast.
Well, we're back at 6:25 tomorrow morning. Phil will have your headlines in the BBC Breakfast programme. Thanks a lot for watching and good night.